There's a small island off the west coast of British Columbia, Canada, and it's called Bowen Island. It is a beautiful rocky island where the weather is cool. As I describe it to you, you're going to get cozy and comfy in your bed and allow yourself to drift off to sleep. So make sure you have your favorite pillow and snuggle up just in the position you like. Now imagine yourself riding the ferry from the mainland, and it's only about a 25-minute ride. You've decided to take a seat on the bow of the boat so that you can watch the island you are traveling to, and you watch it slowly become larger as the ferry grows closer. The weather is cool, but not too cold, and there's a steady headwind on the bow of the boat as it skims across the sea. There are some metal benches for people to sit in, but you decide to stand at the railing of the boat, so that you can see the water rushing past below. You look down at the water and hear the sounds of the ocean lapping at the sides of the ferry. The wind is slightly salty and refreshing, catching your clothes and making them dance on your body. The hum of the engines is loud, yet very calming. There are people sitting on the benches, talking away and watching the very same scene as you. A few kids are enjoying the ride more than anyone else, pointing and smiling during the entire ride. The ferry engine's slow because it's coming into port. The captain maneuvers the boat perfectly, docking with precision. Several workers get off the boat before it even comes to a full stop, grabbing all sorts of ropes to tie it securely, and buoys to act as a buffer between the dock and the ferry. A small bridge extends off the side of the boat to allow for passengers to exit, and a large ramp at the end of the boat slowly lowers to allow for the cars it carried across the bay to drive off. The whole process of unloading everything goes so smoothly, and there's no rushing, and no waiting in line. You can hear some seabirds flying overhead as you enter the beautiful village. 4-story buildings line the seaside, colored in whites and creams, with some pointed light in pink and yellow. The rooftops are a matching gray, and you can see each building has a few chimneys for when the weather turns cold. Some buildings have very small balconies, only big enough to hold a few potted plants, and the shutters on the windows vary from mint green to leaf green, and even some shades of pink. This is such a beautiful little town, bustling with energy of its people. The village is situated in a cove so that it's protected from the sea. And you turn to look out into the turquoise water, and across the marina full of small boats, you see the sprawling nature of the island. Golden and green hues of tall grass stretch across the rocky shore. You can make out some old wartime buildings that have turned to ruin, and see small windows that the soldiers could peek out of to see enemy ships approaching. The buildings protected the soldiers, yet allowed enough access to fire their weapons out of the small rectangular windows. Nature has since taken over these structures. Grass is growing high around them and vines clinging to the walls. Strong cedar trees thrive on this island now. These trees cannot grow very tall here because of the high winds coming off the bay. And so you begin to walk through the village, and there are bicycles lining the streets along with some scooters and even small motorcycles. There are various places to dine that have large awnings to seat many people outside. The tables and chairs at these establishments are placed as closely together as they can get, allowing for a maximum number of customers. Some shops you pass by are filled to the brim with one-of-a-kind paintings, flashing their beauty through the windows, enticing people to enter the gallery and buy one to take it home. You're enjoying the simple geometric shapes of the architecture and how so many windows are left open, letting in that beautiful sea air. Some of the open windows have white curtains dancing in the wind, and as you pass by a busy shop, you smell the aroma of chocolate and the batter of the crepes cooking on the skillet. People are delightfully eating their crepes, and you can see them stuffed with various kinds of delicious ingredients. You make a note to stop by later, but for now you want to walk along the nature footpaths nearby to begin exploring this beautiful island. And as you walk away from the village, there are several trails through the tall grasses that lead to various nature areas, ruins, or beautiful secluded beaches and coves. You decide to take the path that leads to the cliffs, to see the beautiful sights of the windswept offshore, jagged rock formations towering from sea below. You walk along the beige-colored trail that so many footsteps before you have walked, and you notice the low-growing plant life surrounding you are the colors of sage greens. Smothered rocks aid as steps taking you up the cliffside, and as you climb you can see the blue horizon of the bay. And as you walk up the steps, you find yourself becoming even more relaxed. And you're careful with your step because a fall from this cliff to the sea below surely would be dangerous. The sound of the mighty sea presents itself as a deep roar and a low hissing. Waves have been crashing and carving this landscape for thousands of years now. It is spectacular. A dozen jagged rocks are congregating in the sea, growing from large at the base to more treacherous and narrow at the top. No two are the same. They even almost look like dancers striking a pose in the bay. And from your vantage point, you are so high above the sea that you're somewhat looking down at these magnificent structures. Their tops do not even cross the horizon line where the ocean meets the sky. The only plant life that can grow on these rocks acts as a dark green blanket, covering the lower half because the sea below is frothing with energy and the winds are demanding. This is not an ocean that you can swim in. The waves are viciously splashing against the cliffs and rocks, turning the turquoise water white with bubbles. You watch the sunset turn the ocean pink and the sky violet. You find a soft place to sit and soak up this moment. You soak up this moment into your memory forever. The sunset is growing to darkness, and it's time for you to make your way to the hotel. You give one last glance to this beautiful scene and thank it for blessing your mind. And as you walk back along the footpath, the sounds of the ocean gently fade away until all you can hear the eager footsteps taking you to where you will get a good night's sleep. The sky is turning light orange now, where the sun is escaping and dark blue as night draws in. The trail winds and turns, leading to a narrow road that is also beige and gray in color. It's a gravel road that can only fit one car at a time. You pass by houses in the countryside, and they're all white with gray rooftops. They're large, protective white doors that cover over the doors and windows of these summer homes to protect them from any strong winds that hit the island. Most of these houses are closed up, but you see some are still lived in by the locals. And as you walk down this road, magnificent cedar trees line your path. There are even grapes growing in rows behind someone's home. You see roses blooming of all sorts and of all colors. The scenery in the distance is rolling hills dotted with white houses that are all closed up and protected, awaiting their family's return. You find yourself making your way back to the marina, and the streets become paved. The small cars on the island park parallel so closely to one another. It's hard to figure out how they get that way or how they can even pull out. There are a few more blocks to go before your hotel, and you're enjoying every moment of this walk. The sky is dark, but the moon is out and almost full, illuminating everything with its cool glow. You begin to pass by a tall rock wall, as it looks as if it was hand-built many years ago. It looks to be about 10 feet high, and you can't tell what's on the other side. But you can see that a little further in front of you, the wall becomes shorter. And as you make your way to the point where the wall dips to your height, you can see that this wall surrounds a large graveyard. And all you can see is hundreds of white crosses filling your vision. Only a few of the crosses are stone-colored. And you come to the closed wrought iron gate of the graveyard and peer through to the other side. You take in the stillness of the sight and see the moonlight blanketing the tombs. and it's time to keep moving toward the hotel. You haven't been there yet, so you don't know exactly what to expect. A warm glow emits from a building that is drawing closer, and there are red awnings over the windows, and a small sign that reads, Hotel. This is your hotel, and you are so ready to rest after this long and beautiful day. The old door is painted creamy green. The window panes in the door are old and look like the surface of water. You grasp the brass handle and it's cool in your hand. The door opens effortlessly, welcoming you, like it has welcomed many others. There is a man who greets you, and he takes your information. He hands you a gold key and tells you that your room is on the 3rd floor, facing the ocean. You don't have anything but your backpack with you, so you make your way up the stairs that seem like they were built for a very small person. 3 flights up, you come to your room, number 11. The old key slides into the lock and you open the door to a beautifully made bed with crisp white sheets and more pillows than anyone could need. There's no television, just 2 ornate lamps with shades that match the green of the front door. Sitting atop matching bedside tables hand-built from wood. You put your things down and make your way to the small restroom. It's perfectly clean, and it's only big enough to fit you. The shower is welcoming, but you would rather save it for the morning. Gaze into the mirror before getting into bed and see your happy face and how grateful you are today. Make your way over to the bed and you turn the covers back. The sheets are softer than you imagined they would be, and this bed is very comfortable now. Laying down and completely relaxing your body, you're surrounded by white pillows. You gaze out the window of your room and you can see the moonlight. The moonlight glimmering on the surface of the ocean like the way diamonds shimmer in the light. Allow your eyes to completely close if they're not already. Sleeping softly and deeply now. Deeply now. Good.